Welcome to the Attack the Paint show. My name is Ravneet Singh, and let's talk some hoop. So I am in Denver, Colorado. I will be attending Zach Lowe's show tomorrow, and that should be a lot of fun. And today we're going to preview the play-in tournament and the playoffs, the NBA playoffs. We're going to skip talking about any draft prospects in this show, and we'll resume that up next week. But today I just wanted to talk some NBA. So I finished watching the Spurs and Nuggets game today. That had a lot of implications. I think the most interesting implication for today, for the playoffs, because if the Nuggets won, they would be the third seed, as long as and which is what happened. And but if they had lost, because the Lakers had won, um, if they had lost, then they would have gone to four because the Lakers had won. So that being said, now I think that was kind of a mistake on Denver's part. They have a brutal, brutal road to the finals, and kind of no matter what, it was going to be tough for them. I'm not sure it would have mattered actually because no matter what, they have a very brutal road to get to the finals. We'll get to that. But in this game, Wemby did not play. Jokic played half the game, and in the first half, he scored 23 points in 18 minutes, which is crazy. Um, and they rested him for the second half because I think in the end they didn't really care too much if they were the third or the fourth seed. I think they know they have to go through um, a tough road, but I still think for it would have been slightly easier if they had lost. But anyways, in the game, Pickett had some nice moments. Was 4 for 13. He had some really timely baskets though. That anytime it seemed like the Spurs were going on a run, Pickett or even Strother would hit timely baskets. And, and near the end of the third quarter, the Spurs looked like they could have like they were gonna win the game. At least make it a close game. And they did. I mean, it was a close game, but that run is really um, was really big for them because Castle had I think two back-to-back threes, or had back-to-back threes that brought the game close. Strother 25 points looked really good. So it's these like role players for Denver. If they could play well, not only at home but on the road, that changes the whole equation for their team. In the past, guys like Strother, Pickett, um, all it like they don't really do that well on the road, and it's usually Denver starting five that kind of has to play the majority of the game, which you do see shortened rotations in the playoffs. I get that, but you really need a solid bench to I think make it all the way to the finals these days, and that's why I think OKC is partly favored because their bench is the best in the league. So yeah, I mean Denver's. I mean the altitude here is no joke. I mean just going up the stairs, you feel tired sometimes. Or you catch yourself, a little bit out of breath, and so that is a real home court advantage here in Denver. And I think that's when these role players are not feeling gassed because they're used to the altitude and they see this the opposing team a little bit tired, then it gives them a little bit more confidence. And I think that, and also just role players just do better on the road. I mean, at home, anyways. But yeah, it is a real home court advantage here in Denver for the Nuggets. Um, yeah, I actually think both teams should have kind of tried, duck each other because the Spurs don't shouldn't want to play Denver in the second round. I think they would have rather tried to play possibly Minnesota. And on the other hand, uh, the Nuggets. Let me just go over it because I keep talking about it. The Nuggets right now are going to face the Timberwolves. That's a tough matchup. That is probably the toughest matchup you could play being a top four seed. So I think like yeah, in either conference, I think the Timberwolves are the lowest, like a bottom four seeded team. That's going to be the toughest out. So the Nuggets have to play the Timberwolves. If they win, they're going to probably play the Spurs, and if they somehow beat both of them, they'll have to face OKC. That is tough. Now, if they had finished fourth, they would have had to face the Rockets. That seems pretty doable for them, not as tough. So at least your first round wouldn't be as hard as it is now playing Minnesota. But then you would have had to face OKC in round two, and that obviously is really tough. So I get maybe you want to postpone playing OKC until the conference finals. I also understand that. But I think no matter what, you're going to have to go through OKC to get to the finals. So I don't. I would rather have. I would have rather have ducked the Spurs, so that I shouldn't say duck the Spurs because if this Nuggets played OKC in round two, they probably would have had to play the Spurs in the conference finals. So either way, the Nuggets probably would have had to face San Antonio or OKC. They probably would have had to play both OKC and San Antonio to make it to the finals. But the only difference is, would you rather play Houston or would you rather play Minnesota? I would rather play Houston. But I mean, I think I'm picking Denver either way. So um, yeah, so it's not, maybe not that big a deal. We'll see. The thing is, each series plays a toll on everyone. So the longer the series goes, the higher the toll is on that team. So, for example, Denver played the Clippers in round one last year, and that series went to 7 games, and that was tough. It was tough for them. I mean, they came out on top, but you got to wonder, Aaron Gordon getting hurt in the next round, how much of that was preventable if they had won that Clippers series in say 5 or 6 games. It's just like every game in the playoffs is tough. It definitely pays a toll on everyone on these players' bodies. So yeah, so that again, that's my reasoning for it, but we'll see what ends up happening. Now, I want to talk about Darren Fox a little bit. He had 24 points, 8 for 21, 4 for 14 from three. He missed three threes. No, he missed four threes in the last minute, but three of those were on one possession where they just kept getting the offensive board and he kept missing the three from the same spot, which I was kind of surprised that he missed the third one. But I've watched Fox a lot. I've seen him, from his Kentucky days and watched him closely with the Kings. And he seems like he's taking too much of a back step. And I think it's been commendable. But now I think in the playoffs, they're going to need him to step up more. Because Wemby's going to get his, and I'll get to Wemby. But Fox, he needs to step up. And in the Beam team during the Beam team year, Fox was very very aggressive in the playoffs when they faced the Warriors. And I don't know if it was he looked very very motivated, and I know you have to play a different role when you're the best player on a team versus when you're the second best player on a team. But we're going to need to see for the Spurs to go where they want to go, they're going to need Fox to be pissed off, because when he gets pissed off, when Draymond starts talking crap, and when Steph gets away with some push-offs, He got angry in that series, and when he got angry, he went off. That was when we saw him play his best basketball, and it wasn't just in that series. It's anytime he would get a technical foul or another player on another team started talking. Like even when he played the Spurs, Jeremy Sohan was talking crap to him. It just gets him going, and then he'll go off for 40. But it's like something needs to snap for him, and I think that we're going to see that version of Fox. I just don't know when we're going to see it. And the thing is, if it comes in round two, I don't think we're going to see much of it in round one. But if it comes in round two against Denver, potentially, it's like that's it might be like I think that's what it's going to take basically for them to win. But even then, it's going to be tough because Wemby's going to get his, like I said, but they need Fox, and they need a pissed off Fox is what they need. That's what they need. So it's going to be interesting to see if we'll get to see that because I think Castle is going to get his, but I don't see Castle getting 30 points in a playoff game. Um, I think it's going to have to come from Fox, and I think we will see that. But he's going to have to shoot better than how he shot tonight, and I have confidence that he will. But we will see. Um, some players just perform better in the playoffs, and I think he's one of those types of players. Okay, Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama is the best player I've ever scouted. Period. Full stop. And I've been doing this seriously for 10 years now. He is the best player I ever will scout. He's the best player I've scouted, and he's the best player I ever will probably scout. Obviously, you never know, but he was just such a freak and an alien at that time. And when I scouted him, I saw not just superstar potential. This is top three type of player all time type of potential. That's what I saw, and I stick by it. Nothing that I have seen now would convince me otherwise. I think the trajectory that we see Wembanyama on right now is a top three player of all time. We're talking Michael, LeBron, Victor. That's how I see it. Now, he it's early. He's 22 years old. This is his fourth year, and this is his first playoffs. It's maybe early to see, but I mean, this is part of evaluating players. Is you got to evaluate how they're going to be down the line. This is just how I feel about him. Now, I think this playoffs is where the casual fan or the fans who are just tuning in for the playoffs, this is where they're going to see like, oh, like this guy is no joke. This is must watch TV. That's what I think we're going to see with Victor. Um, and I think he's going to go off in this playoffs. He takes the game so seriously, and that's the thing I love most about him. He takes the All-Star game seriously. He just takes like respect for the game to a high level, and that's something I really admire about him. So, and I just think he's great for the game in that sense. Um, and I do see them. I mean, they could. It's not a stretch to see them making the finals this year. It wouldn't be shocking at all at this point. If it's them versus OKC, they've already shown that they could beat OKC multiple times. So I wouldn't pick them just because I don't have faith in their bench. And I do think there's question marks about Fox, even though I've said that I feel like we're going to see the best version of Fox this season in the playoffs. But they have also a tough road to go through with um, facing Denver and then OKC. And I think those three teams are the best teams in the league: Denver, San Antonio, and OKC. And I feel like whoever wins is likely going to be the champion. Now, um, talking about OKC, I think they're going to sweep the first two rounds. I mean, they winners of tonight. So they're probably um, going to face either the Suns, Trailblazers, Warriors, or Clippers in round one. And then they get either the Lakers or the Rockets in round two. If the Lakers have Luka back and Reeves back, then that could be an interesting series. I would still pick OKC probably in five or maybe six, depending on how healthy those guys are. But yeah, I mean, OKC has a very, very easy road to the conference finals. And like I talked about before, if you have an easy round one, round two, you feel rested and you're ready to go in round three. And if you just limit the chances of a possible injury, right? So I think OKC, they expect them in the conference finals back again. Now, play-in tournament. Let's do some predictions, and we'll try to do some predictions for the playoffs also, and then we'll call it a day. So let's start off on the West. Warriors versus Clippers. Warriors have won 37 games. They haven't looked very good. Even against the Kings, they didn't look that great. And they have Steph back, and they still don't look that great. But they lost to the Clippers today, and they lost to by I think 5 points. For some reason, I can't quit them, and I'm gonna say Warriors over Clippers. Just because Steph is back. Um, I don't feel great about it though. that is that is tough because I'm just picking them because of Steph. I mean that there's no other reason why to pick them. Um, and so they will face the loser of the Suns and Trailblazers, which I think the Trailblazers would will lose to the Suns, and so I think the Suns and the Spurs will play each other. That's the seven and second um, series, seeds, and I think Spurs. I'm sorry. I think Trailblazers and Warriors between them. I think that's tough. Um, but because of Portland's inexperience and Steph's experience, I'm going to pick Warriors. So I think it's going to be Warriors versus Thunder, and I think Thunder are going to sweep them. So yeah, I think Thunder are going to sweep them. I think Spurs are going to win. So I think, like I said, we're going to see a Spurs Nuggets series, and I think Nuggets will beat the T Wolves in 6 games. It's going to be tough. I think if there's any series to watch in round one, that's the one. That's the series I would pick over any other one right now. Just Ant Man versus Jokic. It's going to be entertaining. Now, Rockets and Lakers. I don't know. I don't think either team is playing that well. I think the Lakers would have won this pretty easily if they had a healthy team. But I'm gonna go Rockets. I'm gonna go Rockets in 6. But again, lots of it depends on health. It would be Rockets versus OKC, and I think the Thunder are gonna sweep them too. Now, Eastern Conference. Oh, I guess I should finish each conference. So, conference finals: the Thunder versus the winner of Nuggets versus Spurs. I am going Nuggets right now. I do not feel great about it, and I just went on a rant about how great Wembanyama is going to do. But I think Wembanyama is going to do great regardless. I think it comes down more to his role players, Fox and Castle and Vassell. And I just trust the Nuggets a little bit more, but I do not feel great about it. I think it's going 6 games at least. But really, it's a toss-up. I don't feel great either way. Um, but I am excited to preview more of that series. And when I do that, I will kind of talk about how their last, not this game went, but the overtime game they had between each other, which was the best game of the regular season. Now, Eastern Conference. Oh, sorry. I keep jumping around. My bad. Okay. Western Conference finals. Thunder versus Denver rematch from last year. In the They played each other in the second round last year, and I think we're gonna see the same result. I think Thunder are going to the finals. I would say in 6 games. Um, and Eastern Conference now. Heat versus Hornets 9-10 series in the play-in tournament. I don't feel great about this, but I'm still going Hornets. I think they're playing great basketball, but I could see the Heat and Spoelstra just I don't know playing more. I don't know. You can't really play. You could play some zone against the Hornets, but I think they have the shooting to. It's hard to play zone against Knipple. So I don't know about them winning, but just Spoelstra is such a great coach that the Heat can upset anyone in um, in these planned tournament games. Um, so yeah, I'm picking Hornets still though, and then for the 7-8 matchup, Sixers and Magic, give me Sixers there. That means the Sixers will play the Celtics. That should be a fun series. I don't think that's a. I think that's the team that the Celtics do not want to see, but it's it's either them or the Hornets, and because I think the Hornets are going to beat the Magic, um, and so I think the Hornets are going to be the 8th seed and play the Pistons. So I think both the 7th and 8th seed in the East is actually they're not easy outs. I think that starting with the Pistons versus the Hornets, give me the Pistons in 5. Maybe the Hornets can steal one. I wouldn't be shocked if it's I want to be shocked if the Pistons sweep, but I like the Pistons in 5 there. Celtics versus Sixers. This should be a fun series. I'm gonna go with Boston in 6. It's kind of hard to see Boston losing, but the Sixers. I mean they're very talented, and Embiid can go off in any series, so it should be fun. That might be my favorite Eastern Conference series to watch. I think. Um, Knicks versus Hawks. Give me Knicks in 6. Actually, give me Knicks in 5. I know the Hawks are playing a lot better, but I like the Knicks. I think they are a better playoff team than a regular season team. Cavs versus Raptors. Give me Cavaliers in 6, and then Pistons in 5. Like I said, so that would give us Pistons versus Cavs. I could see the Cavs somehow upsetting the Pistons, but I am still going to go with Pistons here in 6. Pistons reaching the conference finals, and then Knicks versus Celtics rematch of last year's round 2 matchup. And this time, I think the Celtics will win, but I don't feel great about it. So I think I'll pick Celtics in 7. That would be a fun series. I think the round 2 matchups in the Eastern Conference are going to be really good, um, as well as the one round 2 matchup with potentially Denver and um, San Antonio on the Western Conference side. So that would be Celtics versus Pistons, and I will take Celtics in 6. So I think we are seeing OKC versus Boston finals, and I will take OKC going all the way and winning in I think 5 games. I think OKC is the best team in the league, and I think the only teams that could upset them are in the West, and that would be Denver and um, Denver and San Antonio. So those are my kind of predictions. I'm sorry if I rambled on a little bit too much, but let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys have going to the finals? Which what do you think I got right? What do you think I'm going to get wrong? At the end of the day, I mean, we're just all kind of guessing, but um, I do want to say I forgot to say one thing. I think uh, the last couple years in the regular season, the last day of the regular season has been really interesting. I think the last like 3 years. This year was kind of boring, to be honest, because there wasn't a whole lot of movement that could have happened in the West, and in the East. There was more movement. I mean, the top four were locked up, but there was more movement at the bottom. But at the end of the day, I think I still see those top four teams winning. And if either of those top four teams in the East lose, it's gonna be a lot of changes then for those franchises because they all have high expectations. So I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you for subscribing and for liking any of my videos on any platform, TikTok, YouTube, um, Instagram, all that. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. It means, it keeps me going. I really do appreciate it. So thanks for watching. Peace.